doing a little house cleaning. So now we're going to go back to the year of 2013. So basically, if you ever get a phone call, you understand, and then they tell you to go to your computer and to do this, and that, and then like they're going to read a number and it's going to be the same number, don't hang up. It's a scam. They're inside your computer to begin with. How Hewlett-Packard has gone to their customer service level, of which, after a couple of years, what is that syndrome where the captive, these people are nicer than Hewlett-Packard, but they are con artists. UTH, they're not located in this country. Date of purchase, the silver plan. Oh, it gets, I promise you, Sophia, the gold plan will be the last, and I won't do it to you. I promise you. And then it happened, and I said, I'm going back to Hewlett-Packard. $177.78 a year. 2012 to 2013. Maven Gateways. UTH. Well, Maven Group of Companies. Well, they have all the Ashford University papers. That is the UK office. Maven Infotech. L head office 145 through 157. Like a St. John Street, London, England, ECIV, 4PW UK, and then the India office, 23A, Laketown, Block A. Is that supposed to be Calcutta? Oh, you're as bad as the New York Times. It's KOLKATA. 7,089. Shake. Jazz hands. When the rhythm of life. Spread your wings and fly to daddy. Spread your wings and fly to daddy. Spread your wings and fly to daddy. Fly to daddy. Crawl, crawl, crawl to daddy. Tell them everything you know. I got some Broadway knowledge too. Browser Windows, Microsoft Windows XP Professional. Do not teach me how to complain. Ever. Technology. Processor, Intel Pentium M processor 1.60 GHz. That's billing outside the country. It's a bank. Little problem the other day. Transaction successful. When I call people incompetent, it's because they are. You're not. Or just you and I believe different things. Because you are a part of enforcing the system. I believe in second editions and first editions and third editions. And I think some people in AI and records management, you need the third edition because now it's AI and it happened that fast. Valerie, Raleigh, yo, recording oral history. I'm not taking you a learn with Sophia. I have 2 degrees. I don't. Recording oral history, 3rd edition. Why would we need these things? Look, I have a certificate from Baylor University in oral history. So all of these things, you used a very wrong identification number, University of Maryland system. You did it from 1984 to 1995. And that is very complicated for all registered and enrolled students because we can't change it. It will destroy your credit. You can only monitor it and hope they don't do anything with it. I don't have an interest in oral history. You asked for so many. You sent us out. I went to the vet center because you weren't covering veterans in White Plains, New York. I returned the tape recording. It's not mine, it's his. There are rules for that. That's why we need a 2nd and 3rd edition. Oral history law. You think that I am not justified? Oral history law. How many did you ask for? The oral histories. Oral history reader, 3rd edition. There are things change. Curating oral history, from interviews to archives. Did not Mr. Ham say that the oral history can fill in the gap? Look, you are really... Why would I call you stupid if you're not stupid? You know, you allowed the American Psychological Association to be the standard. That's on you. Dan DeMoody, the prostrate guy. I'm doing this and taking care of that. And taking care of that. Because if I don't have that, you forced me out of a brick and mortar school. You've had multiple ways to discuss this. Multiple. Now, we are up to this. Art, image, and access. Digitization. You have flushed us. Why? I've said it a million times. Moving theory into practice. Digital preservation storage. Handbook for digital projects. Oh, I'm sorry. You didn't buy the books? What did you do? I didn't read the books. You know, I owe no one any explanation. But really, the last 2 weeks, and this, it only got worse. Just as easily as you took away, you put back, oh, I'm shaking. I'm so afraid. Who will own and manage the digital projects that will be produced? As noted in a New York Times article in 1999, questions regarding storage cannot be resolved without considering the question of ownership. Maybe you need to start reading. That's Lear. They made it a bumper sticker. Lear to read. I used her on that Metropolitan Museum application internship. Oh, I am 60. There's not one bone in my body that is Dick and Jane. In the Big Apple. Do not make me go get the Annenberg Norman Lear School of USC. Norman Lear is a disgrace. Was that section of Queens that you stuck on Archie Bunker from a English sitcom? Did she start there or something? And how is she paid? Whoever. Mr. Lear. Read, but with an EA, like I before E, except after CC. Now, I don't know what you listen to, but for the most part, I have 10 televisions at that gym, of which I see no reason to gymify. South African Truth and Reconciliation Commission. Thank you for registering for the South African Truth and Reconciliation Commission. You can find the information below. That's August the 3rd, 2021. So when I talk to some customer service because somebody's company didn't make it a live link, but the other companies below, I want my privacy rights. Psyox. This woman, I'm telling you how you talk to a woman from South Africa, so you don't end up being South Africa. Ten a.m. to 4 p.m. Paris. Truth International Criminal Court. U.S. at local levels, not all successful. Trudy Peterson, Public Understanding, Local Community. Kate Blaylock, Graham Downing, another session in October. Well, if I got the link, I would have been there. 6 officials, UN languages, Chinese, French, Arabic, English, and Spanish. Tunisia, Truth and Dignity Committee, Arab Spring. Police killed vendor making honest dollar. Trudy Peterson, Archives and Human Rights. Look, I was at that United Nations in New York when they had the participation books. My truth is not changing. Somebody went to Beijing, I needed that library again, similar to when I went to the HUD library. Los Angeles is my thing. For Professor West's African Migration, UMBC, Honors University. Well, C, California. A thing like this. L, Los Angeles. Look, first of all, I owe no one any explanations. You took one pinched nerve from a doctor who should have been vetted by George Washington University. He's disbarred. Excused from one work day only. I did that, George Washington University. Whatever you called it, he don't practice. Because he changed his name, because the Spanish teacher from the World Bank, and then she goes to UMBC. It's a cultural right. Spanish men can take the maiden name of their mother. And that's what Lopez did. Stuart. And then he lied under oath in Philadelphia. So somehow, I'm supposed to let that go too. Would you please let me seatbelt up? I return. Somebody tries to run me over with a tree shearing thing. All three of them were drunk. They fled the police and hid in the Hilton. All three of them were drunk. I call Mothers Against Drunk Drivers. What would you do? Comprehensive finding aids. There's a question mark. For TRC archives, wasn't at time of Graham retirement, memory of experienced officials. Didn't I write a paper on that? You are required to have an expert witness. If you keep changing them, so there are many jobs in life. If you aren't like generationally and you don't have a stock fund, trust fund, it's not for you because they don't want anybody knowledgeable. Similar to that 1920-30 court case in California, they won. No, I'm not a police major. No, I'm not a journalism major. I'm an English major. No, I'm not this, I'm that. Well, it wasn't anybody's profession. American Archivist, summer 2003. Primarily History in America, how U.S. historians search for primary materials at the dawn of the digital age. Well, I took one library information class. We read 20 articles. We read them. If you don't read them, how are you going to see what should be the access words? And then we voted. Well, nobody believes my words are worthy. We don't need that. Now, some people are lucky until Google is forced to change. You can put a whole sentence. That doesn't have to be that way. Look, like I said, as Stephen Colbert said, this life, you're on your own. But Prince said, love God.